Hello guys, it's Danila. I'm back again this week with another video with my mug. Let me just sip on this tea real quick. So in today's video, or this week's video, I will be breaking down the internal work that I've been doing to help me with my self-esteem, my self-development, and overcoming my traumas. The first thing I did, going back a year ago, sometime last year, around beginning of October, I decided to go back to church. I decided to go back to church because I had hit a bottom so low that I thought, you know what, you need some time. You need to go back to your roots. You need to reanalyze, re-strategize, and analyze how you got from point A to point B, C, D, E, F, the entire alphabet. I need to understand how one thing has led to another that has got me to this point in my life thus far. So I started going to church, and when I started going to church, I was still drinking, I was still smoking, I was still like partying. And every time I went to church, for whatever reason, the pastor will always be preaching about forgiveness and letting go and forgiving those who hurt you, forsake you, and moving on. And always like, there's always a message reassuring that it's okay. Like if they leave you, if they forsake you, if they hurt you, because God will never hurt you. God will never leave you. God will never forsake. Sorry, I'm kind of feeling myself like, yes, baby. Yeah, going back to the subject. So every time I'm going to church, there's always a message about forgiveness. So I started to get lost in prayer, because for me it was very, very difficult to forgive my family. You know, when strangers hurt you, you can sort of forgive them because you think like, yeah, strangers. But let me tell you something about forgiving your family. It is always harder to forgive your family than it is to forgive a stranger. Trust me, because you expect your family to protect you. You expect that your family are the ones who are going to be there to guard you from strangers and abuse. So when it's your family that causes you all this pain, it's hard to forgive. So I had reached the age of 27. This is last year, because I'm now 28. I have reached the age of 27 and I haven't been able to forgive them. I just thought to myself, I don't think I'll ever forgive them. So I have like a little shrine in my house where I've got a Bible and some candles, where I get on my knees and I pray and I pray and I pray and I pray. And I was doing that last year when I began church. And then we get to lockdown. And during lockdown, I'm on online church service. And when I wasn't on the online church service, I was on YouTube watching this American bishop called T.D. Jakes. Oh, honey, one sec. Let me sip on this tea. T.D. Jakes, yeah, oh my God, that preacher, that man, yeah, that bishop, the way he preaches, yeah, you feel like jumping through the screen. You literally feel like you need to enter that congregation because you need to praise Jesus. That's basically what he does. And literally every time T.D. Jakes spoke, yeah, it would just let me understand the situation much better. That allowed me to slowly start to forgive my family and slowly start to forgive people. Apart from that one cousin, we need to have a face-to-face before I forgive him. So I managed to get to a point where I forgive all my family, and I'm literally like, you know what? I forgive you guys. I understand that hurt people hurt people. So I got to this point of forgiveness. And then through my research on psychology, I found out there's some exercises. And one of the exercises was mirror work. I sat in front of the mirror and I looked at myself completely naked as I am in my purest form. I accepted my flaws because I hadn't accepted my alopecia up until literally this year. When I went to get a trim, I was like, I'm just going to rock a short do because I like myself the way I am. I accept myself. It's called, it's called mirror work. And once I managed to get through mirror work, it allowed me to then go through something called radical acceptance. Like literally radical acceptance was the thing that allowed me to really walk into my power, because once I saw that nobody was judging me for having short hair, or that nobody was judging me for being mixed race with short hair anymore, I was like, so it was all just in my head all these years. It was just all in my head because of what I was fed during childhood. But you know what? No one's actually saying anything. No one's actually saying much. And not just that, everybody that said something was always a compliment. Everybody that said something always said, you look so much better with a short do than you do with a wig or extensions like you used to wear. And then I was like, rah, like, all of this is in my head. And this is where I was like, wow, you have to be careful what you say to a child. You have to be careful what seeds you plant into a child's head, because you don't know what psychological damages you could do to somebody later on in life if you feed them wrong information like that. But anyways, and once I reached that point of radical acceptance, I then started to walk into my power. I was like, you've forgotten about yourself. You've forgotten about who you are, the things you enjoy doing, the things you like to do. Like, what happened to you? What happened to that creative girl? Like, what happened to the girl who used to love dancing? What happened to the girl who loved theater, drama? What happened to all your creativity? Like, where are you? I was searching for me. You need to understand. I was like, there's something wrong with me. So through further research, I found out that there's this thing called shadow work, yeah? And let me tell you something about shadow work, yeah? Shadow work is not for anyone. You have to be really strong to do shadow work. My mouth's getting dry. Let me sip on this tea. 1 minute. Let me tell you something about shadow work. You have to be strong to do shadow work. Shadow work is painful. Shadow work is every part of you that you reject, neglect, oppress. Everything about you that you don't want to deal with, that you don't want to accept, that you don't want to know. That is shadow work. It's going into depths of yourself and pulling all that out which you don't want to deal with. Yeah. Shadow work is basically like, you know, when you're walking around, yeah, in the dark, yeah, when you're in the dark you can't see your shadow, but then you go out during daylight and the sun's shining on you, and then your shadow is now showing on the floor. So basically, shadow work is shining a light upon all of that which you wish to hide. And when you shine a light, you see all the truth. So whilst I was digging out all the truth about me, which most of it was really ugly, I started to get physical body pain. Like literally my bones would hurt. I would fall sick. I would vomit, yeah. I even had diarrhea because shadow work is difficult. I literally got sick out of doing shadow work. It was basically like I was vomiting out. I was vomiting all of that which I had suppressed. And let me tell you something, if you don't have the strength to do shadow work, my friend, it will finish. I've even lost weight. I've lost weight through doing shadow work because of how painful it is. Like if I did shadow work on a Monday, yeah, and I spent like 3-4 hours doing shadow work, you best believe I'm not doing shadow work for the rest of the week, because 3-4 hours of shadow work would kill me. I would literally break down in tears. I will break down in tears so badly, and I'm just like, raw, like, did this actually happen to me? Where were the adults to protect me? Where were the people that were meant to protect me? Where was you? Where was that person? Where was this? But I was bawling inside this house through lockdown whilst doing my shadow work. However, I can now say that there's so many benefits to doing shadow work. Yeah, I feel a lot lighter. And when I mean lighter, just me as a person, like my heart feels like it has expanded, it has opened, because throughout all these years, I closed myself off. Like emotionally, I was not available for anybody because I had been so hurt throughout my life. I was scared to allow anyone into my life. So I was just like, no. And when I started to do shadow work, I don't know what I felt, but I felt like my heart opened, my heart expanded, like as if I was finally able to feel again. Because you have to feel when you're doing shadow work, because the emotions will rise up on you, and it's like, whoa. So I feel lighter, I feel healthier. And the amazing thing that has come through shadow work, because I've been doing it by myself, I didn't have anybody to talk to, I started writing. I've been doing a lot of writing. I've been doing a great deal of writing. I enjoy writing. It's one of the ways that, I've been doing my shadow work is through writing, because there's no one to speak to. There's no therapist or whatever. So I'm doing my own therapy through writing. So I write down all my pain, all my emotions, all the events, and it's just been so amazing. It's been so therapeutic. It's just, I recommend shadow work. If you want to move on, if you want to, shed energy, because that's what you're doing. You're shedding off all the negative baggage that you carry throughout the years. And trust me, it is great. And one thing I also did was, because I was able to forgive my family, I also asked for forgiveness, because I realized that along the way, because I was so hurt, I had hurt other people. Because like it goes, the saying says that hurt people hurt people. So I forgave them. So I too wanted forgiveness. So I'll just drop a DM or a text to somebody who I had been nasty to, an argument that ended badly. I just, I decided to shed off energy. It's called shedding off energy, when you're basically letting go of all the baggage and elevating to a higher level of consciousness, which is basically what you want if you want to grow in life. So yeah, guys, that's the work that I've been doing, and I recommend it if you are in a position where you are going through, depression, anxiety. Read up about psychology, do your research about psychology, do your research about mirror work, radical acceptance, shadow work. These things are so amazing for you to do, and you can actually do it by yourself, because I'm not going to therapy. I'm doing my own therapy through research, because I felt that there was a need for me to cure my inner child, because she was begging for cure, like literally, and I was just not able to reach certain heights in my life, because my inner child, she was hurt, and she was so jealous. She was like, you ain't going nowhere until you take care of me. I'm not letting you go anywhere. Can you imagine? But yeah, guys, thank you. I've been Danila, and you guys continue to be so amazing to me. So all I can say is thank you for the support. Shout out to all my friends who are being supportive. Shout out to everyone who is sharing, reposting, watching, and subscribing to my channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye. Ciao. Bye.